right, we're going to give everybody a couple minutes to log in, jump on. There's some folks. All right, we'll give it just another minute or two and then we'll get going. If you're able to hear me okay, somebody write a comment if you don't mind, just so I know that everything's working and good to go. Thanks, Mike. Chantel, Donna. Yep, great. Awesome. All right, looks good. All right, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Jason Chance. I'm the race director for Rev3 Williamsburg. I appreciate each and every one of you who has kind of been through the ups and downs of this year. We had a approved course and everything was exactly how it was last year. And then a new bicycle ordinance came in and it affected our event and it affected another event, which just happened a couple weeks ago. They're friends over at Kinetic Multisport. They did a very similar bike course and people loved it. It is a much more challenging bike course, that's for sure, but it's absolutely beautiful. So I went and drove it the other day and really excited for you guys to take a look at it. Um, Biggest thing right now, as you all know, it is super hot. I went and looked at AccuWeather. The real feel today was like 117 degrees, which is doing nothing except jacking the water temperature up. Um, the good thing is that Sunday is showing the coolest day with a real feel of like 90 degrees. Um, it is showing rain pretty much every day up until race day. It's showing about a 50% chance of rain on Sunday, and thunderstorms in the afternoon after 2 or 3 o'clock. So we all know that, that can change. So fingers crossed. Thunderstorms on the course would be the only thing that would change anything. And it would, possibly we would have to change the swim if we have lightning and we can't go out on the swim. But we've had situations like that this season, and as long as it's safe, we make it a duathlon. As long as we make that choice that day, it still counts with USA Triathlon as a triathlon. Super excited that this is the Virginia State Championship. So it is a Virginia State Championship for the sprint, for the Olympic, um, for Clydesdale and Athena, on those distances, and then for club championship. So super excited. Um, Vincent, I will certainly explain those. I can tell you we're not like the big I. We're not going to we don't push too hard on cutoffs. You know, unless it's something that's dangerous and we can't control, and law enforcement says pull people off. But yeah, I'll go through all of that in just a minute. Um, so let's talk about the changes. If any of you raced with us last year, one change to the swim, which I know you guys are all going to love, is there is not an 8/10 of a mile run from the end of the swim back to transition. Um, this year, the currents are working with us. Slack tide is actually at 7:35 that morning. Um, so we're going to start for the half in the Olympic. We're going to start at the floating dock, which is where you finished last year, and you're going to swim around and you'll come in on a beach this year because the fishing pier is pretty much done. So you'll come in through a beach. It's a small little run. Um, it's on grass, it's on a trail. If there's any roots or anything, we've got some green carpet that we're going to put out there as well, just to cover that up. We do recommend take some cheap flip flops or something like that for the walk in the morning down to the swim start. When you kick them off, we're going to throw them all in a bag and drag them all back up to transition. So when you're done, you're going to have to go looking for your shoes. So don't wear anything super expensive or super nice. But yeah, swing by the dollar store, Walmart, pick up some flip flops. The sprint, you guys are pretty fortunate. You're going to start at the boat ramp, which is directly near transition. Um, Transition last year was up by the fishing pier. That has changed. They're doing construction to that. They're actually completely tearing that apart. So now we're kind of in the northwest corner. If you look at our transition and everything, look at the maps in the athlete guide, northwest corner. We're pretty much taking over a bunch of that area. The nice thing is that there's a pavilion that's back there that's got power, that's got cover. There's lots of trees, lots of shade. Um, so we're excited about that finish line. We're still going to have some vendors. We're going to have our tri clubs. We're going to have a big area that's right there where everybody can kind of line the finish line. You can be in the shade. You can bring tents. You can do whatever you want. Um, so the swim is going to come around and it's going to be right there at transition. Um, you're going to run past the finish line, not through the finish line, but you're going to run right past the finish line. You're going to grab your bike. You're going to go out the entrance to Chickahominy Riverfront Park. We are making that a no arrow zone, pretty much the entrance and exit of Chickahominy Riverfront Park. And the reason is that there are 3 tiny, tiny little speed bumps. And when I say little, I mean that they are, let's see if we can do this. There we go. That's as high up as they are. So they are literally a little 1-inch bump. But we don't want you down your arrow bars and to lose it. So we're going to make that a no arrow zone, pretty much going in and coming out. There are 3 of those, just so it's not a surprise. We'll be talking about it. We'll send out an email and all that kind of stuff. But you're going to go out and instead of turning right and going into Charles City County, you're going to turn left and go into James City County. Which is where Williamsburg, and that's where our host, Chickahominy Riverfront Park, that's where they're located. So really kind of nice. The sprint, you're going to follow the signs and you basically have like a 9.8 mile bike ride. And if you look at the overall course map, you'll understand why it's 9.8 because we really can't like make any more distance. It's just a big loop. Olympic, you're going to go out, you're going to do some of the climbing. You're going to wind up down at Little Creek Dam, which is absolutely beautiful. Hit your turnaround and you've got 1 loop. The half, you have 2 loops. So when you come back on your second loop, that's where you're going to find your second aid station. So it will not be available on the first loop. Even if you yell for them, they're probably not going to hand you anything. So Olympics and half, you actually have aid stations on the bike course, which means bottle handoff. We'll have full 20-ounce bottles of Gatorade, lemon, lime. We'll also have sport top bottles of water. It'll be Deer Park, the pop tops, so you can grab them and just pop right off. They will be available for you for the Olympic. You'll get 1 at your turnaround about mile 15. The half, you'll get mile 15. And then when you come back down and around, you'll get another one at like mile 30. And then you'll hit that mile 15, which will be 45 for you at that time. So you actually have 3. You probably won't need it, but as hot as it's going to be, who knows? So we'll have Gatorade and water at those bike aid stations. Once you guys are done, you're going to bring your bikes back into Chickahominy Riverfront Park. You're going to get out of your arrows, no arrows again. Go ahead and rack your bike, and then you're going to start your run. Jason West made a comment. Thanks for the updated run course. Yeah, we looked at it and we just realized that just putting you out for the long course for 13.1 miles straight out and turn around and come back it's no good. We try to get you as much shade as possible. So the sprint, you're going to run 1.55 out, turn around and come back. So you will go over the bridge and then back over the bridge. The Olympic, you're going to do the same thing. Um, the sprint, your turnaround is at aid station 1. The Olympic, your turnaround is at aid station 2. So when you get to them, so the half, you're going to run about another half a mile beyond that. There's going to be a mat that's going to be down there that you need to run around. So no cheating. And then, which means you're going to hit multiple aid stations. You're going to hit that one aid station 4 times, I think. So you're going to hit an aid station, go down, do the turnaround, come back, and you'll get that same aid station again. So you have a lot of aid stations on the half course. The Olympic, you're going to get 3 because you're going to hit that first one at 1.5. You're going to hit your turnaround, and then you're going to hit that one at 1.5 again. So going back to what Vincent Bogan, basically what this means, because we're on the trail out there, we don't impact traffic, which means we will let you stay out there as long as you need to. Vincent, I'm not really sure. I can't pull it up right this second if you're doing the half or the Olympic or the sprint. Um, if you're doing the sprint or the Olympic, you have pretty much as long as the half has out there. Um, we do have a couple cutoffs, and that's based on the there you go, Vince. Good, you're doing the half. So we've got a couple cutoffs, and that's based on law enforcement, our friends out there, just making sure that everything's good. Swim cutoff times, let me pull it up real quick. You got an hour and 10 minutes from when you start, but honestly, you're going to have longer than that. Um, because the half is going to start first. And then the Olympics going to go probably 15 to 20 minutes later, and then the sprint's going to go after that. So you have as much time as you need kind of out there on the course. The bike, that's the one where law enforcement might say, hey man, we need to kind of do something here. That's it's typically about 5.5 hours after your swim. So if you're out there, it's probably about 4 hours. So, 14, 15 miles an hour, that kind of stuff. Um, you know, so, um, so yeah, and honestly, we're gonna try as hard as we can to have them just kind of let us all go out, because once you're coming back on that second loop, you're just making a right-hand turn. And right-hand turns are nicer than left-hand turns because we normally don't have to block traffic. When it comes to the run, Vincent, you've got plenty of time, man. We will not cut you on the run course. We will give you that option if you're out there on the Olympic, or if you're out there on the course and you're just like, no, this is horrible. You can come on back if you want, but we're not going to cut you on the run. Let's see. Dia Mill, since no shoulder on Route 5, expecting traffic backups on the road stretching outside the park in many years. Where'd you go? Hang on one sec. Guys, this is exactly what this is for you to ask questions. This is not the athlete briefing and all that kind of stuff. So don't worry about that, okay? Yes. Hang on one sec. All right, Dia, since no shoulder on Route 5, expecting traffic backups on the road stretched outside the park in many years, they tried to block you. No, our plan is to cone that off. It's going to be, in years past, it's been a little bit different because you've been making a left-hand turn to try to get back into the park. This year, you're going to be making a right-hand turn. We're going to have that coned. We will have law enforcement and everybody. This will be a much better return on the bike course. It really will, because you're making a right as you're coming back into the park instead of coming over the bridge and turning left. How challenging is the bike course? I'm not gonna lie, it's challenging. It is much more challenging than what the Charles City County. If you look at the elevation, which we posted in the athlete guide, if you're doing the Olympic, it's 2,000 feet of climbing. If you're doing the half, it's 4,000 feet of climbing. Um, it's nothing super crazy, but it's got some hills that, if you're going downhill, when you get down to the bottom, I would keep pedaling so that I can make my way back up. Um, Road conditions, Tom Schaefer, they are great. They are awesome. I drove them the other day. They really are nice. There's no big crazy potholes, but we will be out there all day on Saturday. If there are any holes, don't tell anybody, but we'll fill them. We'll mark them. We'll do all that kind of stuff. Um, Jason, half will be marked by pink arrows, correct for the turnaround. Yes, but there's going to be some signs out there as well. The turnaround, Jason, on the bike course, if you're looking are you talking about? If you're talking about for the bike course, there's an aid station at the turnaround for the half and for the Olympic. If you're talking about for the run course, we're going to have giant signs that basically say, "Hey, turn around." Um, you know, that's going to be good. Let's see. What time should spectators park their cars? You should try to be in there by 7 o'clock. Because we're gonna start the swim at 7 o'clock. And once bikers start going out and all that kind of stuff, it's gonna get a little bit crazier in there. We're not closing the park. We're not doing anything like that. We are good to go. We're gonna allow traffic and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that's the plan. So Stephanie, I didn't see anything about swim waves. You're absolutely right. It is a rolling start. So it's self-seated. So we put the fastest people in first. You're actually going to jump in off the pier. You're going to jump feet first off of the pier, except for if you're doing the sprint, then you're going to walk in off the boat dock. Okay. Um, The sprint start time. Yes, Todd Creswick, sorry. Yeah, the sheet has it at 7:30 from the pier. It will be from the boat ramp, That was a miscommunication. There was a time when we thought about, okay, we were going to put you in at the boat or at the pier, and then we were going to swim you up the boat ramp. But why not just have everybody finish at the same place? So it works out. So we're going to put you in at the boat ramp. Okay. Raphael, I did just extend the Olympic bike to 30 miles. The reason that we did that is the 28-mile turnaround point was at a really bad spot. Once you go over a Little Creek Dam, there's trees everywhere, and it's kind of a really cool little windy road. And the 28-mile was going to have you turning around in the middle of one of those turns. So we took you down to the intersection where you're going to be able to access that aid station. It is flat. Okay. I promise it is absolutely flat. So that's good. Dia, there are no pros at this race. We had pros a few years ago. We had, we had some help getting some pros in there. But we do not have any at this race now. Is it possible for spectators to come only for the finish? Sarah, absolutely. In case you've never been to a Rev3 race, we love the spectators. We want everybody, all of the spectators to be there. And if you've got family or if this is something important to you or you've got a little one, um, I've carried my son at 2, 3 years old. Um, across the finish lines before, and that's what we do. As long as you're not impacting anybody else, don't go Wizard of Oz and take 8 people across the finish line. We really we want you to be there, be a part of the finish line also. So Sarah, yes, you can come. We will have live tracking on the Rev3 app. So we have an app. Um, Live tracking will start. You'll be able to see we have split points out on the bike. We have split points out on the run. We will also have a split point like 1 mile out from the run. So you'll know when your person is coming back. Todd Crestwick, 7:30. You should be ready to go at the boat ramp. We're going to have everybody getting out of transition by like 6:45. So everybody's going to start going to their place. So like Jason, yes, you'll walk from transition to the swim start. You don't need flip-flops. You can walk on the grass pretty much the entire time. But some people like right at the very end, they want flip-flops. And it's still that 0.8 of a mile. It's just not You're not running it after a long swim this time. Vincent, yes. So we went ahead and spoke with some good photographer friends of ours. We worked out a deal with them, kind of as a thank you and as a celebration of this being the championship, the state championship. All of your photos will be completely free. We will have photographers out on the course. We will have photographers at the finish line. In years past, we always did just your finish line picture was free. Everything is completely free. Um, You'll be able to download them. You'll be able to post them. No watermark, no nothing crazy like that. Okay. So super excited about that. You do have to give me like 24 hours, for everything to pop up. So Jason, are the hills more challenging than the Luray race? I gotta be honest, man. I haven't done the Luray race. I wish I had. Racing Multisport put it on really well for years. I know there's a new company that's putting it on. So I don't know. But I just I just don't have I don't have the idea of what it is. My best suggestion is when you come in, Saturday or anything like that. Um, Go for a drive. It's a relatively short, it's 28 miles or 30 miles, now, as we pointed out earlier. Go for a drive. Um, Dana, yeah, it's 4,000 feet of elevation for I feel like when I looked at it the other day, that it was 2,000 each way. Honestly, the best thing to do would be look at the Olympic elevation, and then that'll tell you how big it is. So give me 1 second. And again, this is exactly why we're here. So we're gonna do another video, and that will be your athlete briefing. But give me 1 sec, and I will pull this up and take a look, or I'll try to take a look. Hopefully, I don't boot you guys out. I'll tell you what, I would tell you to go and look on the courses at rev3try.com/races. And Dana, if I've misspoke, then hey, that's better. That it's only 2,000 feet, so I apologize. Howard Francis, will there be different buoys from the Olympic and the long? Different buoys for the Olympic and the long. No, there will be one buoy that will be different. If you take a look at the swim course, and the swim course is right on the in the athlete guide. Everybody's going to follow that shoreline, and the half goes out a little bit further, and then cuts back in. So that's where we're going to make up your point three. So there will be one big crazy buoy out there, and we're trying to figure out which color that's going to be. There will also be everybody will have a different color swim cap. So we will know, just for example, so just for example, if we happen to have a yellow and a red, our volunteers who are out there, our lifeguards, are going to know if yellow is long course, no yellow, or all yellows have to go out there. So they're going to help you. Okay, they're going to help you. Sarah, the athlete guide does not have park instructions for spectators coming just to the finish. You're going to park, excuse me, you're going to park in the same place that all the athletes do. So you're just going to come in. You're going to come into Chickahominy Riverfront Park, and you're just going to follow the road around, and you're actually going to go right past transition, and you're going to park on the right. So we'll have some parking signs and that kind of stuff. All right, let me see here. Is the sprint correct? 99%. Yep. Yes. Whoever asked me that. Chris, sprint white course. Yes, it is correct. You're going to do almost up to mile 5. Olympic and half are going to keep going straight. You will turn left at that point, and you'll come on back. Dana, absolutely. You can supply your own silicone cap if you're allergic to latex. Dana, what distance are you doing? Are you doing the half or the full? Can you answer that? Because if you're doing the half, I believe the caps that we have are silicone, but I would bring your own just in case. Okay. Would Sprint follow the Olympic swim buoy shoreline? Yes, Todd. Yes, you will hug right along that. Oh, there you go, Jason. Thanks, dude. Um, plus or minus 2,000 feet. So yes. So Dana, the bike course is 2,000 feet also. Chantel, I think you had sent me a message before, so I won't know till I get there on Friday. I feel like from the beaches, you could probably go and get in the river. Um, the place where we used to go on the water was right by the fishing pier, and that's all under construction. So I know we don't have access to that. But I would hate to tell you, yes, you can go for a swim on Friday, and then there'd be no swimming signs posted everywhere. So we're going to get there Friday at like noon. You're not going to be able to do anything or check in or anything like that until Saturday from 2 to 6. But as soon as I get there on Friday, I'm going to get a water temperature, and I'm going to check on that for you guys. I can tell you about 5 miles upstream right now, the water is 86 degrees, which is horrible. 86 degrees is outside the even allowance for USAT wetsuits. So if it was 86 degrees, you will not even be able to wear a wetsuit or lava pants or anything like that. You will not be able to wear any kind of neoprene, any kind of flotation. Um, really hoping. I think last year we got super lucky and it was like right at the end. Talk about in the athlete briefing when we go and give those. So, Todd, I know I did answer it, but maybe I answered it kind of quick. Yes, you're going to follow the Sprint Olympic buoys. Um, yeah, right along the shoreline, and you're going to cut in. It's just because you're starting 4/10 of a mile up. You'll be good to go on that. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think what you guys might want to look at, might want to talk about. We have Gatorade on the run course. We have Gatorade on the bike course. That's absolutely something to be ready for. We'll have water out there. We'll have bananas and gels and stuff on the run course. The biggest thing is to hydrate now. Start hydrating now, because it's gonna be hot and humid. Like I said, we've got lots and lots of shade at the finish line, which is going to be great. That's going to be helpful, and you guys should be done before too much rain and thunderstorms comes when we'll be breaking everything down. So we ordered 1,000 pounds of ice today, so everybody gets allocated 3 pounds of ice. Just kidding. But we did order 1,000 pounds of ice to be there. So yeah, we want to keep you cool. um, Raphael, I expect to post the athlete briefing. I need to get all the final details. Probably Friday morning will be the actual athlete briefing is when I'll put it out there. And then that way everybody can take a look at it. We're meeting with the USAT officials and that kind of stuff. Jason, bike aid at any of the stations. We will have basic mechanic kits that we will put out at the two aid stations, but will not have a mechanic like there. My guys who are out on course, they can help with flats and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm going to tell you, you should be able to fix your own stuff. But we are going to have some extra tubes. We'll have a pump, that kind of stuff at any of the aid stations. We do have a bike mechanic who will be coming in. They will be there Saturday. They will be there Sunday morning to help out. Um, my wife and I used to run a multi-sport shop, so if you get really hung up, I was the mechanic there. Be happy to help if I'm able to help. This is not the time to get your first tune-up though. So if you're having any kind of issues, make sure you get those issues done before you get there. Um, but yes, we'll be able to help you as much as we possibly can. All right, so let's see. Speaking of the bike, if it's raining, my suggestion and what I've always done when I raced, I would always pump up my tires like I normally would, and then I would let about 5 or 10 psi of air out. So, all all that really does is you're pumping up the normal, and then you're pressing your release valve, one or two times, um, one or two times. So, and that'll just flatten out your tire. It gives you a little bit more surface area, which makes it a little bit safer when you're turning. All right, Melissa, the sprint bike starts with three left turns. How's that work without stopping to wait for traffic to clear? Police. Um, we have law enforcement who is controlling everything. They will control the entrance and exit to the park. So they will start. Um, they will stop cars so that you make a left. The next left that you see where it goes from 5 to 5,000 Centerville Road is actually kind of a merge. Again, law enforcement is there, and then your hard left to come back, law enforcement is there as well. So you have priority on there. Law enforcement is out there to stop cars so that our bikers can get through. So Melissa, we got you covered. Sarah Frank, athlete guide have half bike course listed turn by turn. It will, and it already does. With the exception of, I think, where I extended it out just a little bit, the turnaround, it is already on there, and there is a URL link where you can go right on Ride with GPS and take a look at it. So yes, the half bike course is already on there turn by turn. Okay. Sarah, yes. All I said is tire pressure. I like to pump up my tires normal, and then I let like a second or two of air back out. And what it does is you still have plenty of pressure in your tires. It just flattens out your tire a little bit so that you get a little bit more grip on the road. Jason, packet pickup is from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturday. You can come in anytime, or you can come in on Sunday morning. Everything else was we're going to open transition at 5 a.m. Okay, see you on Sunday, Howard. We're going to open up the transition at 5 a.m. You'll be able to pick up your packet that morning. Again, we're going to close transition at 6:45, so don't come rolling up there at 6:30 in the morning. That's going to put a lot of pressure on you. And I am a very punctual person. Melissa, can you get off your bike during the ride? Of course you can. If you're doing the sprint, so you're not going to get to an aid station, but the aid stations out on the bike course actually have porta-johns at them. And the aid stations on the run course will have one porta-john at them also. But Melissa, yes, if you need to get off your bike during the ride, you absolutely can. I would tell you if you have to get off for some reason, kind of move off into the grass area so that other riders don't have to ride around you into traffic. But yes, anything you need to do. And Melissa, if the hills, if you were doing the Olympic or the half, and I would tell you that the hills, if any of them get you, there's no shame in having to walk up one of the hills. If you haven't trained for it, it's a little bit different. All right. So we've been going about 35 minutes here. And I want to give everybody an opportunity to jump on and ask any questions, but if not, everything that we have in the athlete guide, is pretty good, is spot on. All of your course maps, all that kind of stuff. The course maps I just updated on the website. Those really are the best place to find the courses. You can go on. I put every ride with GPS on there so you can actually see it step by step. If you have a Garmin, there are ways that you can even download the course. So Tara, do we know what the bling looks like this year? I'm actually sitting here waiting for the medals to come in from DHL. We do. I believe we posted it on the site the other day. It's a great big silver medal, says Virginia State Championship, Rev3 Williamsburg. And what we're going to do is we're creating these tabs that will go onto the ribbon so that'll hang down, so it'll say what distance you did. So you'll have, you can click it on and say, okay, um, I did the sprint, I did the Olympic, I did the half, that kind of stuff. So, Jason, is there a follow-up video after this? Yes, but that's the athlete briefing. And again, I'm working on that tomorrow, and we're going to try to post that up on Friday. Um, and honestly, if there's any questions from this or anything like that, the best thing to do is shoot me an email to info@rev3try.com. That's really the best thing to do if I don't answer your question in this. Melissa, kickstand's not necessary or recommended. Um, we have racks that you'll hang your bike on, and we're super excited. Um, you know, you've got that. You really won't need a kickstand. When you come in, we will have little areas, and we'll say we want the halves to rack here, we want the Olympics to have rack here, want the sprints to rack here. But we will not be saying you have to go right here. Okay, so get there early on Saturday so you can pick your best spot. But yeah, yeah, Jason, we're we like it. It's pretty cool. Um, so what our plan is, we've got this. Oh, there we go. So Donna, you're absolutely right. For some reason, the sprint to athlon, the 1 mile run at the beginning, it did not get in there. We posted it on the website. So try sign up .com/Rev3 Williamsburg or Rev3races.com, just the main site. The 1 mile run, you are going to start at the boat ramp. So you're going to start at the boat ramp. Your run goes entirely within the property. It's a 1 mile run, do the sprint ride, and then you do the normal 3.1 mile run. So except for that 1 mile at the very beginning, everything else is the exact same. Go on the main site. And give me 1 second. I will just post it real quick if I can. Go on the main site, look under courses. Yeah, look under courses and you'll see the duathlon 1 mile run in there now. Melissa, you can do breaststroke, backstroke. You can do anything you want. I don't normally recommend backstroke because then you can't see where you're going. Breaststroke is good, side crawl, anything like that. Um, but yeah, you can take a break if you need to. Okay. All right. Yeah, good. Sorry, Donna. Yeah, we completely and duathlon, we love having duathlons in them. So unfortunately, it's not the duathlon state championship, but I'm fighting with USAT to try to get that. So um, all right, we've been going about 40 minutes. Again, my plan is I'm going to, obviously, this is going to live on Facebook, but I'm also going to push it up to YouTube so that people won't be able to live ask questions, but at least they'll be able to get this information. Um, and then, yeah, we'll do the athlete briefing. Isla, I hope that's Isla. No, Sunday morning is fine. Honestly, because we don't know what the weather's going to be like, Sunday morning is actually preferred. Unless you want to rack your bike, we do have security Saturday night. But my recommendation is I would bring it on Sunday. And then that way, I know it's one less thing, but it's all your personal preference. But we will have security Saturday night. But if it's me, I'm doing it Sunday morning because then I'm just bringing all my stuff. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off of here. I appreciate all of you who jumped on. Really glad that we had some good communication, and I will see you guys in a video here shortly. But you know, come and say hi on Sunday or Saturday when you're there if you can find me. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. If you have any questions, info@rev3try.com. Chris White, there are not assigned bike spaces, just assigned based on distance. Okay, just assigned based on distance. So half, Olympics and sprints. Beyond that, it's self racking, about 6 bikes per rack. Okay, all right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.